Adversity and challenges. Yes, that is today's topic. I am super excited that you guys are joining me today. My name's Angela Brown, and I'm here to share with you some ideas that we're going to unpack from the Insights and Wisdom of Omuugn. This is a book that we're going through together, and today we're talking about challenges, the challenges of life and how inevitable they are. Joining me today, I am so excited that we have the author himself, Omuugn.
Good
Hi
morning.
there. How are you today?
Great. It's a wonderful day.
Yes, it is, and even more wonderful because you're here. When you talk about moving forward in the best way that you know how, that's a great question. And I want to highlight that for a second because there are a lot of us that find ourselves trapped or tripped up in challenges of life, and we don't really know how to navigate them. And I know that in my website scenario, I'm asking ChatGPT right now, which is AI available to us, where I can say, this is what I'm trying to do on this website. Is there anything that can fall apart based on these plugins that I have that I don't even know to ask or I haven't thought through yet? What are the pros and cons that you see? And it will give me a whole bunch of things. Did you think about this? Did you think about that? If somebody's using this, there might be a problem over here. And I'm like, oh, how do I fix that? And so on a technology scale, I can use ChatGPT to ask some of those questions. But in life itself, when we're not reliant on technology and I'm not at a computer, how do I navigate some of those deeper conversations where maybe the challenge, for example, might be like an interpersonal relationship?
This takes us back to the very basics again, which is life should flow based on universal laws and foundational principles. So the first step always in all of these things is to understand what those are. They're going to be different for everyone because everyone is coming from a different place. We've all had different experiences. We have different religious backgrounds. We look for different people for our mentorships. We have to have some solid foundation to base everything on. We can't just fly around by the seat of our pants and respond to everything that's happening accurately unless we know where we stand, what we believe, what we can build on.
So, how do you navigate a situation where, let's say, for example, in this particular scenario, I'm okay with the change. I'm okay that change needs to happen. I'm acknowledging that change needs to happen and I'm willing to change, but the other person is not willing to change at all. How do we navigate situations like that where we're dealing with constant frustration or conflict or constant grinding of nerves when we're around each other?
Social interactions are some of the more difficult challenges to work with because you're not only dealing with your belief system, you're dealing with someone else's belief system. You're not only dealing with your habits and your way of doing things, but the other person has their habits and their way of doing things. So one of the keys there is communication. I have a situation with someone, and I have found that when we use words, we really have a different definition of what those words mean. When I'm trying to convey something, I'm trying to do it in a certain way, but I can discern very quickly that they're somewhere else. They believe something totally different than I do. You need to define words, you need to find common ground, you need to get on the same page. And that's difficult to do sometimes because sometimes people they don't want to open up and share really what they believe. Or a lot of times people don't even know what they believe. A lot of people react to everything instead of proact, instead of decide what they want to do. All of the challenges that come along, they're just reacting to them all of the time. And those people are hard to deal with because they're not coming from a foundational place. They're coming from a reactionary place, an emotional place. All of that has to be taken into consideration. If you can create a situation, a scenario where there's common ground and foundational concepts at work, then people can progress. You start thinking alike and working together, and it's a lot easier to go through life that way. If if you're in a workplace and a different situation develops, sometimes you don't have that resource of learning together at your disposal. So you have to be able to flow with whatever is happening in the best possible way. Learning and growing together resolves a lot of issues, and it makes our challenges kind of fun. If the people that you're around are encouraging, and if they're positive people, and if they have good, positive attitudes, you share what you're doing with them, and they will encourage you to be successful. If you eat at their place, they'll know that you're on a diet and you're trying to lose weight, perhaps, and they will respect that and give you a carrot instead of the donut, which you may see as a blessing or not, depending. Yeah, there are a lot of different ways to approach it, but the idea is you need to come from a solid place and communicate, and people need to know what you're doing. Social interactions are delicate because people are coming from so many different places. We have to be tolerant. We have to be patient. We have to be loving. We have to be persevering. A lot of the times things will happen, but not when we think they will happen or when we want them to happen. Sometimes a process has to process, and we have to be patient with that.
That was phenomenal. Thank you for that. I am sad our time is up for today. I have absolutely thrived off of this conversation. I've learned a lot about accepting challenges in a way that helps us grow and not stagnates our progress. So I absolutely love that. I want to encourage everybody that's watching this now or on the replay that you leave your challenges in the notes below. I love having Omuugn here to unpack these ideas and concepts with us. So thank you so much for your time today. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you guys again next week. Have a great week.